everybody? This is your boy, the good one, the Black Trump, the good Trump, Tory, whatever you want to call me. We are live here on Gen X Sports. We are live on YouTube and on Instagram Live. Leave your comments, whatever. We'll answer them. But if you're disrespectful, you're going to get it right back. Just letting you know up ahead of time right now. I have two guests who you are all familiar with. These are two of my favorite personalities. These people will entertain the fuck out of you. Yes, we are uncensored, so feel free to curse. I had to make the intro a little long because my mind was in the gutter for a minute, thanks to somebody. But I'm good now. I'm good now. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to Bryan 3SL Lyles and Miss Kiki from Real Talk Uncensored. How y'all doing?
Hey,
Hello again. Coming
I'm
along.
super well.
I see. Y'all see the name there, right?
Someone celebrating Cinco de Mayo 2 months early.
Oh, hey, look, I'm celebrating St. Patrick's Day.
Ah,
Oh, listen, as always on deck,
There you go.
we'll talk uncensored,
I love it.
adult beverage.
There you go. An uncensored beverage. At that. Yes, indeed. Well, I want to briefly, see how everything's been going. For those who don't know, when we were on Rip Radio Network, Real Talk Uncensored is a three-time show of the year. No other show has won the award three times.
Yeah,
And Kiki and my man Tone spearheaded that show. That show blew the hell up. What is going on? How's real? Yes, there it is, right there. Looks so lovely. Looks so lovely, Rachel.
thank you so much.
Keep it clean. How has things been going with you in the show? And tell everybody where they can follow y'all, and then we're gonna repeat that again at the end of the show.
Okay, things are going well. We're on a hiatus at the moment. From the beginning of the year, we should be back on in another couple of weeks. So I was told. A few things had to be taken care of on all parties that are involved with the show. They can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, on Real Talk Uncensored, and one more. That's it. Real Talk Uncensored. And when we back on, we're on from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock p.m. It's a show you don't want to miss. It's me and Shrek, aka Tone. We get A's live, baby. Anything from soup to nuts. Nothing that we don't talk about.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I love the
On
shows.
Mondays, I apologize. On every Monday.
On Mondays. There you go. There
Yes.
you go. They look. They hold it down. One of the most entertaining shows
Thank
uh,
you.
that I've seen. You could just sit there and watch it. The few times I produced the show behind the scenes, I would just sit there and enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Uh, we got comment on Instagram. What up, Marcus? Good Trump. I literally was thinking about you 5 minutes ago. Was thinking about the show and days. Yeah, man. How you doing, Marcus? Man, stay tuned in, man. We got some sports talk. Give us some questions, man. Share
Yep.
the link. Tell people to tune in. Also, I want to introduce my man. Hey, let me tell y'all about Bryan. Bryan is the reason that I was able to go as long as I could because Bryan would be there to produce the shows and everything when I couldn't. And if it wasn't for Bryan, I think I would have burned out years ago. just. But Bryan was there to produce the shows, even be a personality on the shows, and he's doing all this sports stuff now. You're directing, firing people, hiring people. You know what I'm saying?
Look. I'm not Elon Musk. I don't do that. So.
What are you up to now these days, man?
I am still producing, engineering,
Firing and hiring.
directing. I haven't fired anyone, but lately it's been I do work with three universities in the DC area, and I want to put out there shout out to American University for winning their men's Patriot League basketball championship. And they're heading into the NCAA tournament in the first four. They're part of the first four. Sadly, the winner of their matchup, they'll have to face Duke after that. So
Mm.
hopefully they'll win the first four and then enjoy that mini travel to Duke. But hopefully they'll go far because really, actually, this American team is a good team. But all in all, I've been working with that. Yeah, all I've been working with them. I told you during the pre-show, I just finished working with the Capital City Go Go, the
Nice.
Washington Wizards D League affiliate. That was pretty fun too. So yeah, I just stay busy and things like that. And trying to get Real Talk back on, and with our network, Beltway Radio and Beyond, and things of that nature. So yeah, I'm as you can see the gray. I'm working hard.
What you got a birthday coming up too, right?
Yep, next month. Yep, officially, yeah, 1 month from now. So
From today?
tomorrow.
Okay, okay.
So
It was 63rd, right?
I'm not TJ, man. Don't do that to me.
I knew I smelled cabbage. You're an Harry. I knew I smelled cabbage.
See, Aries are freaks. So we if you seen all the exotica stuff, you know about Bryan.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Don't let
For
this popular
sure.
nice speaking fool you. The man is a stone cold freak. But speaking of that, today, before we get started, we're gonna talk about the NFL. But I want everybody who's tuning in or will tune in to um, look at what we have. We have a poll up that you can vote on live right here. After you hear what we talk about with all these free agency moves, I want you to vote on your way too early Super Bowl favorites. And as you can see there, all the teams listed. If you're on the chat, you just use hashtag what the answer is. So if you think the Eagles, after all this free agency, are still the favorites, hashtag Eagles,
Okay.
hashtag Ravens, hashtag Chiefs, Bills, etc. We'll
Hmm.
put it up some more so you can vote. But in the chat, let's vote that up. Speaking of these free agencies, all the moves, man, in free
Moving and
agency,
shaking.
which one was the most shocking to y'all? Which one do you think will have the most impact? I'm gonna start with you, Brian. Which free agency move? Because it was crazy last week.
Right.
Which one you think was the most shocking and had the biggest impact?
Um, the most shocking was Miles Garrett staying in Cleveland. I just felt like it proves two things with me with him. It's one that you complain about being on this team and where it's going, and you feel like, okay, I want to go somewhere where you want to be part of a contender, blah blah blah, and which I can understand that. And I felt like, yeah, you should leave because this I don't know where this organization is. And then all of a sudden, a few days later, you're signing, one of the biggest contracts for a non-quarterback, and I'm like, okay, so what's this about? Do you want? I kind of understand this is a business, and I understand you want to get paid, which is he's well deserving to. He's an All Pro and all that stuff, but I just felt like, you know, I don't get it. Why stay in Cleveland? I know Cleveland will pay you. Cleveland's like the new Commanders, or
Exactly.
so everyone needs to do somebody. So we got our new Commanders with Cleveland Browns, and want to overpay somebody, for no reason. So I get it. So, but I felt like Miles, he could have benefited on a contending team. I think him going, I would, if someone would be willing to certain teams that would have paid for him, I really think it would probably be maybe the Chargers, because I think financially it would have, because they got rid of Bosa, and I think it would have benefited him to be over there, and I think they're on the come up. Um, I know the rumor mills was him coming to the Ravens, but
Hmm.
a lot of cap room and all that stuff is questionable. But all in all, I that's just shocking. That was the shocking to me. Him staying in Cleveland, it just didn't make sense. So, but as for impact, surprised enough, I think this will be beneficial for them in the long run. Is Seattle getting Coop? I see if surprised enough, you got Darnold, you got Cooper Cup, and I felt like it's like, okay, you're rebuilding something there, and I think McDonald is seeing a good bigger picture there. So I think that will help Seattle, because I know full well the NFC West is going to be wide open, and I think having Darnold and Cooper Cup as a good, receiver quarterback tandem would be very interesting coming up next season.
Oh,
About you, Kiki.
you talking about in the future, in the near future, like
This
literally next
this
season?
coming, yeah, this coming season, because like I said, the NFC West is wide open. It is so wide open. So
What about you?
that's just me. But Miss Kiki,
Okay. I agree with you about the Miles Garrett thing. I agree with you about that. I feel like y'all division just continues to make mistakes like that. I'm not saying that he's not good or he doesn't deserve it, but the overpayment of stuff like that, it always ends up in dust. And I think that move did something terrible for the NFL because now you got everybody else who is average at best looking around wanting that same type of paycheck. It's kind of, to me, it's kind of scrambling up the free agency. It's kind of throwing some shit in the game a little bit, and it's affecting us in the biggest way. Just saying, everybody feels some type of way about it. And your question was, what's the biggest impact?
Yeah.
What was your question?
What would you think was the most shocking, and which one have the biggest impact?
I think the most impact is going to be the DK Metcalf Pickens duo. Like if they get it together,
Mm,
if they can get it together, Trump,
mm.
I just want them to just whatever duke it out, go to the back room, do a little something. Because if I'm not mistaken, I feel like DK is coming there being humble. Like I'm coming to your house, let me just do whatever you got to do to win. But I think Pickens might not be mature enough to see it that way. He might feel threatened and then do the shit that he do all the time. So I hope they don't fuck that up. Hope they don't fuck that up.
We don't even know who's throwing him the ball yet.
yeah,
We don't even know who's throwing him the ball. Aaron Rodgers, from what I heard, he want to go. Aaron
To
Rodgers
the
want to go to
Vikings.
Minnesota.
You want to go to the Vikings?
So who gonna throw them? You got talented wide receivers, but it don't mean shit if they ain't got. They got a sorry quarterback
and they don't even have a running back either.
Or no quarterback.
or no quarterback. Right? Who you
Yeah,
gonna stick? Who's the other quarterback on the roster for Pittsburgh? I don't even know.
I know it's not Randolph anymore.
It's not. Is it Trubisky? No, I'm just kidding.
It might be. Is it, I think Trisky is
He
there as well.
was at
He
one
was
point
though.
because it might be Trubisky slumming around.
I'm gonna love this.
Boy, don't make me get my. Don't
I'm
make
gonna
me
I'm gonna love this if they got two star wide receivers and got a
for
bum
sure.
throwing them the ball. And they're divas. Do you know how much divaness is gonna happen if they have a bum quarterback throwing them the ball?
I can't see it. So their plans was to rid themselves of Russ. Because I'm gonna tell you something. I bought into the whole Russ and Rogers thing. I bought into that.
Uh-huh.
I feel like iron sharpens iron. You know what I'm saying? Like you put Aaron Rodgers in the position at the Jets where he had nothing. He had a few little key pieces because before they fired Sally, they was doing a little something. But I felt like you gave it all to him and expected something to come out of it when nothing was put in place. But here I felt like iron sharpens iron. Both of us are vets. Both of us know what it is to win a Super Bowl. Both of us know what it is to like. I felt like he had more to bring there. I was here for it. A lot of people weren't here for it, but I was.
Just to put that out there, the Steelers' current rostered quarterbacks are Mason Rudolph and
Ah,
Skylar Thompson.
Oh,
did
this gonna
say
be
that.
this gonna be
So
a great year for
Who
Baltimore.
the fuck are they? Look, no,
Right. Mason Rudolph.
Mason
I know
Rudolph, I
him.
do remember.
but
I
that
just recently saw a video.
used to play for Blazeburg. I
Yeah,
don't care.
yeah.
Mm.
I recently saw a video of him where the Ravens knocked him out, like literally. Um,
That's the one Miles Garrett threw his helmet at and almost
Yes,
knocked him out.
that's right. That's
that
right.
dude too. Yeah. So,
Mm.
but
Listen,
yeah, yeah, the Steelers are kind of like
they don't like him.
I don't know what the Steelers want. And then honestly, like we've been talking, Trump, we've been talking for years about how we should get rid of Harbaugh or not. The
Yeah.
Steelers fans are now saying it. And they feel like it's like we look as much as we've been enjoying this, above 500 streak you got going on, dude, we haven't been to the Super Bowl since 45. So I mean, what's the deal? And now you got this flushing of quarterbacks and all that stuff. And on top of that, they're not in a good draft position to get a good one. So, and then of course, on top of that, if you do get a decent one, how many years you're going to try to wait for him to develop properly and stuff like that. I do agree, Kiki. It made no you had a good tandem between with Fields and what Russell Wilson,
Yes.
and you figured it's like that's something to build with, and then now you feel like okay, well, let's blow that up and start all over again, and it's kind of like okay, and if you think about it, that's been the Steelers' problem after a good Super Bowl run because they had that problem during the '80s once Bradshaw retired,
Yeah.
and they couldn't find a decent one until they got drafted Ben Roethlisberger, and and then now it's like I knew full well it's like that's going to be your problem. It's like you can be so good for so long to a point where it's like you need to find good players to help you, but I don't know it. You need a new GM as well because you're not
I
picking up the right guys to help you with your team that's supposed to be have this elite defense and a good receiving core, and you got nothing else after that.
well, I tell you, I love the destruction of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh yeah,
Of
so do
course you
I.
do.
I
I'm
oh,
loving it. But let me
side
tell
note.
you, let me
Well,
tell you
side. Oh,
how
go
I
ahead.
feel about this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With the
Do tell.
Baltimore Ravens signing Andre Hopkins, DeAndre Hopkins.
D Hop.
Who the fuck cares? This I would have loved this 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
This man he's falling off the map fast. He's getting older. He's
Mm-hmm.
past his prime. He's serviceable. But we should have went after. As soon as I heard DK Metcalf was unhappy and wanted to trade, if I'm the Ravens, I'm going after him.
Y'all ain't got no money though. Y'all got like 18 cents. Y'all ain't got no money. Bruh.
Okay, mind you, we did some restructuring for certain people.
Talk to
Actually,
me.
but I think with Thompson coming in, I think he'll be like the OBJ. When he
Mhm.
came in a couple of years ago, he won't be
Who
an
DeAndre
impactful
Hopkins?
player, huh?
Who DeAndre Hopkins?
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins. I think he'll be like he'll be that third receiver. Everyone thinks people still respect his skill level.
You
So
better. You better.
yeah, but everyone, but he'll know that fact that Rashawn Bateman and um, what's his name, are the top two guys. They know for full well of that. But him being a good third, that's just a new weapon, and he'll come along. So I feel like
Yeah,
it's a good pick. It's a decent pickup.
yeah. We
You
need
know,
more than decent now. We
I
we
know.
we need
I
good.
think, mind you, we have 11 draft picks. Trump. We have 11 draft picks coming
What's the
in.
first one?
I was gonna say, what's the first?
First one won't be until I think we're 22. I think we're at.
Case closed. And the draft is not deep this year.
Of course not. But here's with 11 draft picks. If you think about it, that extra draft picks can help you get stuff earlier.
You are so forgiving with the Ravens at that. I swear, they get no slack from me.
Fervently.
Of course
Fervently.
not from you.
They get no slack from me because Jim Harbaugh has. Don't get me started on Jim Harbaugh because it'll take up the rest of the show. But his honeymoon is over. As I told you last time,
You
if it
told him get
wasn't
rid of
for
him.
Lamar Jackson, he would have been fired. Lamar saved his job.
Okay.
Here's the other thing that's shocking me in free agency. The San Francisco 49ers are having a free sale.
Yeah.
They having a fire sale. Are they
Yes.
tanking?
Their windows closed. They're everything that they had in two Super Bowls ago is gone. They I really think they mishandled Debo Samuels.
Yes, they did.
They mishandled because it kind of reminds me of the fact of how the then Redskins handled Robert Griffin the
Yeah.
third. It felt like you didn't take his injuries seriously enough to sort of like let him relax, chill, and all that stuff. I know you want to win, but really, Samuels, you had him do anything and everything, and you don't want to pay him. And I just felt like, okay, you got him not only being a receiver, you have him being a running back.
Running back.
Some occasions he's a quarterback, and it's just like, shoot, next thing you know, you want to probably be a punt returner, a tight end, and a freaking kicker by then, because it doesn't make any sense to have this guy be everything and anything, and you don't want to properly pay him. All right, fine, let him go somewhere else. And I think the Commanders were smartly enough to say, hey, you just be a receiver. We got everybody else. All the other positions are handled. If we do some extra stuff, it'll be limited. So I think he's a good addition. I think he'll be a good fit for that team. But the Niners, I really think it's like, look, your window is definitely closed. They're going to be they already let go Samuels. They let go their top fullback, who used to be a Raven,
Mm-hmm.
Justin. I was hoping for the Ravens to pick him up so his wife can come over
We ain't
and
picking
create
nobody
some of
up.
those that fly gear she makes.
We might
Bruh.
go after a 30-plus-year-old wide receiver.
Mhm.
You know, we ain't picking them. Speaking of doing nothing in the free agency, how about them Cowboys?
How about him? How about him?
Y'all ain't done shit in free
How
agency.
about him?
What
All
are
we
you
doing,
doing?
you know that game that they have in New York where they got the cups and they shuffling shit around, and
Yeah.
that's all they doing is shuffling shit around. You're not even you, bro. Who are these people? Who are these people? Now you know me, Trump. You keep saying I have two teams, right?
Yeah, you do. You pretty color teams.
I, I feel like I call a spade with these people.
Hmm.
I was talked about because I called the season already. But then I kept saying to myself, well, let's just wait because the point I was gonna make up with you and talking about Ravens and D Hopkins, I feel like when you got top people, like again, that iron kind of sharpens iron. And when people, let me back up. Back when Tony Romo and Dak was doing that whole dance, and they couldn't really decide whatever. I felt like the rivalry was dope because people rise to the occasion when you start finding out your job might be in jeopardy, and I
Yep.
think that's what needs to happen in Dallas, and it doesn't. I feel like just because you're there and we CD Lamb, Butterfingers, bitch, drop another one. Yeah, I felt some type of way about that shit, and I feel like you should be the next man up. Sit your ass down. If somebody else will come and show you how to Sorry, I'm not a yeller. Sorry.
You're right though. That's how I felt about the dude who dropped the ball. I didn't put his name out my head now. I'm so mad at him. For the Buffalo guy,
For y'all last
Mark
game.
Andrews. Yeah,
Yes. He should
Butterfinger
have
ass
Uber
dude.
home. He should have fucking Uber home, yo.
Yeah, you go home. More people attacking me. Well, you should have caught the ball.
No, they really was giving him death threats. Like, bro,
I'm telling you, man. Let me.
but Cowboys, we're not doing nothing. I think that we probably won't. But how I am, how Bryan is with the Ravens, I
Mhm.
feel like in our division we're gonna suck. I feel like we're gonna play hard, who we usually play hard and win those games. But we're not in contention. We won't be for some years because our fearless leader is still at the helm. I don't get it. I just when I watched the intake for Shoddy, right?
Mhm.
Talking Shoddy. When I watched the intake for when I
Shot
watched
it.
the intake for him, um, the way he spoke and how he he was ensuring us that Dak would have a better coach, that this person would have the address the needs that they need to have. I felt good about it. However, when I look at what we're doing, absolutely the same fucking thing, which is nothing. I still know Big Jerry still got his hands on everything. You're not gonna do shit. All he did was change those players out, and for real, he could have kept McCarthy for that. You
Mhm.
want motherfuckers to dance for you? That's what happens. I don't understand why losing this $1 billion. It's a dope ass franchise. It's a dope ass company. I don't understand how what is it about you that you're willing to let it roll down the drain? And then I want to say, um, dang, just slipped my mind. Oh, about the 49ers, right?
Yeah,
I
the
was saying
field
to
team.
myself, and I said, what y'all know? Tell me what you know and tell me right now because you gave up him for a fifth round draft pick. What do you know? What are you
Mhm.
fucking hiding? What are
That's
you
true. That is true.
That's true.
And again, like I said, he's been abused in a sense during his tenure there. So I feel like the Niners are like, okay, yeah, we're willing to give him up. And actually, surprisingly, Samuel said he saw the writing on the wall like even after the season was over for the Niners. It was like, I don't think he knew he was like going to be there for next season. So, but yeah, I think the
I
Niners
thought they
know
would have got.
something more than not a lot of other teams, or let's say in this case, the Commanders know. So, but we'll find out, coming in the upcoming season. So,
I thought they would have got rid of Ayuk first because he was the one asking to be traded last year.
He was on his way.
Yeah, I
And
thought
he was saying
he was
that
on his
very
way to
early.
Washington.
He was saying that shit very early in a point where he was shaking shit up before the season was even over.
Mm.
And Washington, shout out to them. They got a lot of money. They know what to fucking do with the shit. And for real, I believe that a lot of people are watching what not to do by looking at us.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all coming down and they coming up.
For sure. It's time though. It's
So
time. It's been 30 years.
yeah, is it? Well, I'm
Mm,
gonna say Jerry Jones. He is the literal. That statement you're gonna have to pry this out my dead co hands. That's
Yes,
Jerry Jones when it comes to controlling the
if
Cowboys.
that was a person.
Literally, his name is right next to that. And speaking of all this free agency, the poll here again, y'all. But I want to get y'all take on this. All
Okay.
the team names mentioned here are the Las Vegas odds for the top
mm,
teams
Okay.
that are
typical.
Super Bowl favorites. Based off
Shall
of
I?
all
Shall
this
I?
free
Shall
agency
I name them?
craziness, what do y'all think? Who is your favorite after all this stuff to win the Super Bowl out of these teams?
Ladies first.
Let me see. The Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Bills, Lions, 49ers, Bengals, and Commanders. Way too early Super Bowl favorites. Just one. Because we already knocked out 49ers. Like that's just one. Like
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah,
May
these
I?
as of last week, these were Las Vegas's top odds for the Super Bowl. I don't know why the
Um
49ers still in there,
I don't
but
know why
wait.
this happens yet.
yeah.
My blue and silver heart wants to say Commanders, but I can't. But I can't. Um and fuck the Eagles. Chiefs. I think Chiefs. I think
Chief,
Chiefs. Way too early.
I'm going with I'm going to
You want Bengals. You
I'm
want
going to
Bengals.
pick my Ravens. I'm hoping D Hop has a better season and it proves me wrong that he is not past his prime. I
Mhm.
think if he does that, and he can catch the ball in the playoffs when we need him on fourth down and won't drop the pass. I think I'm gonna go with my Ravens. Not because it's my team. I just
Okay.
feel that. What about you, bro?
Um, my heart and soul will be the Ravens forever.
Hmm.
Um, but if I was a Vegas betting man, and especially if it's way too early, um, I cannot sleep on the Chiefs right now. And no matter what they look like they're doing wrong, until they I guess, implode, you got to put your money. You got to put a small ounce of money into the Chiefs.
Jeez. Okay.
Mm, okay.
That, can't go against that. It hurts to do that. It hurts to
Yeah,
say
it
that, but
does.
I so today was selection Sunday for
Mhm.
NCAA. I saw the brackets. I was looking to get a copy of the brackets, but I guess it just happened drop, so I couldn't load the copy up. But out of all the teams I saw, I have a gut feeling that for the first time in a long time this year, all four number one teams are going to make it to the Final Four.
Yeah.
Duke, Florida. Was Florida number one? Hold on.
No, I don't think Florida was number one.
I had all the number one teams down here. Hold on. And I saw all number one teams are going to make the Final
It's
Four, right?
Auburn,
Duke, Auburn,
Duke, Florida. Yeah, they're there, and
um,
Houston.
Houston. Yeah.
That's four.
Okay, Harry. Auburn,
Duke
Florida,
Mm.
Duke,
and Houston.
and Houston. I
Hmm.
think all four of them are going to go to the Final Four. I don't think this is the. We might get some mild upsets, like a 12-5 and all that.
Hmm.
But I don't see. I don't. I just feel all four are going to make it this year. What about you, bro?
Um, I question Florida.
Me too.
The West practice is very interesting. St. John's, yeah, Maryland, um, and UConn. So those are obstacles that I feel like can stop Florida. St. John's, they've been, they're a they're a number two seed, and they've been winning very oddly, in modern day college basketball standards because they don't do the 3 points, 3 point shot. They have a decent 3 point shooter, so um, and I feel like if they have a good defensive mindset since Rick Paterno has gone to whatever new school that had a losing strike record, the next year they're in a winning record and they're a NCAA contending team. So the other thing like said Maryland because Maryland um, boggles my mind all the time,
Yes.
especially yesterday against Michigan. They are a good team. They are a decent team as long as it's those last. I would say 10 seconds, where they need to focus and stop players where they need to stop making these long distance last minute shots and ruin everything. They can blow out a team decently, but it's those really really tight close games that really screws them up. So I honestly I feel like Florida. I don't think based off of what I'm looking at right now,
Hmm.
I would really say St. John's over Florida.
Mm, okay.
Go
You
Devils.
are you? Are you? So you a Duke fan?
Yes.
Lord.
Uh,
Yes.
I'm
Is that,
noticing a
a,
trend here.
is that unfortunate?
First of all, I can't stand Duke. I do get. Oh, I hate Duke.
Yeah, everyone hates.
Oh,
I
but
thought
I'm
they were
noticing a
dead.
trend. I noticed a trend with Miss Kiki.
What's
All
the
the team,
trend, Trump?
all the teams you like
Got blue
wear
in it.
blue, and not just pretty blue. You like blue team.
See, that should be I'm blue. That old classic dance track.
There's always an explanation for me. There's always, because Big Blue, first of all, but um,
Michigan.
yes, because I'm from there, but I got accepted into Duke.
Mm.
That was where the school I was going to. So I usually have dual reasons for supporting
Mm.
other teams. Like y'all be stuck on one. I'm not gonna wear Duke Devil shit. However, if I'm watching it, yeah, Michigan all day though.
Hold on, wait.
Um,
No, wait a minute. Hold on. Duke's your, but Michigan. Why Michigan? Now,
I'm
and you.
from there.
Okay, that's the connection.
That's the
Okay, got
connection. I only liked Duke because I was going there. I was going to attend the school, and I felt like, let me just see what time it is with them. And they were good. They were good. So I was
I
like,
respect that.
I support them. That's not my team, though. I don't own any blue.
Mhm.
I don't own any devil stuff at all. I don't.
Well, Michigan made it. They got in the day and they improved. Like so, I think I saw the problem with Michigan. The problem with Michigan last few seasons was Jawan Howard.
Yeah.
As soon as he
You
get
know.
go, they let him go. And it's still some of his players there. As soon as he's gone, they a whole new team. They damn back in the tournament again.
Mhm.
And he got a lot of issues, and a lot of stuff did carry over. It carried over.
Yeah, I heard he had a lot of anger issues
Yes.
and was
Yes.
fighting other fighting other
Yes.
coaches.
Yes. Getting that work.
Yeah,
Yes.
another one. But so who do you think is what's your final four pick? Have you had a chance to look at the brackets?
I haven't. I was trying to look it up just now, but I don't got
Yeah,
my glasses on, so.
are
Yeah,
you
it's
playing
it's
brackets this year?
still early for me, but like I
Are you
said,
playing the brackets this year? Are you doing the bracket challenge?
I'll dabble. I'm not, as long as it's not paid, a gambling
Oh
one.
no, it's
I'll
just for fun.
dabble.
Yeah, I'll dabble. Dibble and dabble in it.
I'll dabble too.
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah,
it.
I'm going to dabble this year. I didn't do it
Yeah.
last year because it's frustrating when I lose, you know.
Mhm.
And you do
I don't
all
like
that
it.
writing and shit up to the final four, and then
Yeah,
all of your teams
I
are
like it.
gone.
I don't like it.
It's a done deal. It's a done.
Yep.
Yeah,
So let me go on to one more topic here, and I want to talk about the NBA.
the shit
And
show.
if you saw the news recently, and this has like we talk about sports, we love sports,
Hmm.
and I think there is a point when sometimes the people in the mainstream media can cross the line with the player.
Yeah.
Most recently, Stephen A. and LeBron James, I'm sorry, Stephen A.
Excuse me.
Smith and
Yes.
LeBron James. Uh, LeBron didn't take too kindly to some of the things Stephen A. said, took it personal, and confronted him on the court. Now, my thing is, when it comes to the media, you should be able to criticize a player all you want without getting personal. I don't like Stephen A. Smith, but I don't feel he went personal with this. His son is in the NBA, LeBron's son. He's fair game. If he's not good and he's fair game. LeBron confronted this man on the court, which I think was wrong on LeBron's part. You could have waited to the locker room. You could have did something. He wanted to make an example out of Stephen A. Smith. Did you hear about that? What do you think about that? And who do you feel? Do you think LeBron was right? Stephen A? Do you feel the media goes too far sometimes?
One I saw like a picture of them, of the confrontation. I didn't really get the gist of it until you fully explained it.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
like just like you, Trump. I am not a big fan of Stephen A. Smith. I have known Stephen A. Smith in the media realm for a good 30 years, and I just feel like he comes off very abrasive with his commentary. It's and it's been like this for years. I mean, mind you, him and LeBron. It's not the only one. Everyone knows about him and Kevin Durant. They had some issues a couple of years ago about some of Stephen A. Smith's comments. I just, but mind you, it's like, look, it's you're a media person. You do a media show. You say what you want to say and things of that nature, which is understandable. But at the same time, it gets to the point where sometimes your comments can go a little bit overboard. And I think a lot of the news media people today forget the number one rule in news being a reporter is don't be a part of the news. And somehow he ends up being part of the news every so often. But in this scenario, I feel this is, yes, LeBron's fault. I just think that LeBron, he has to stop being, daddy. I'm or the big Papa Bear and all that stuff in this type of scenarios. Is like, look, he's a pro now. Your son Bronny's a pro now. He has to take these comments. You
That's the
can't
game.
coddle him and baby him and overprotect him anymore. I mean, he's gonna get what he's gonna get. And just today, like I said, during the go-go game, I was hearing the commentary. A lot of people were saying, he's like, yeah, Bronny sucks. I mean, even though the fact is like, he wasn't going to stay in the G League for very long, but but still, it's like, yeah, he needs to be here for a while. And then on top of that, I asked about, let's put it this way, another pro player, Dennis Rodman. I asked about his son because I thought he was still with the Go Go. He was on the roster, but one of the guys the Go Go mentioned that now he was let go, and I was like, oh, okay, that was news. Because of the fact it's like, look, if you suck, you suck, and if the news media finds this out and they evaluate this stuff, they're gonna. That's what they're there. They're informing the public. It's like, hey, this guy's not really that good, and he needs to, do this and this and this. Based off of the evaluation, mind you, of a media person. Think of the fact if this was a GM, another owner, or whatever, or better yet, your own coach that you're supposed to be, paying for. So you, LeBron needs to stop being Bron James father and start being his teammate now. That's what he has to do. I mean, the moment you force the Lakers to draft him into this league is like, again, I know you're trying to protect him, but then again, think about the fact that if he was on another team, are you going to go over to go to, let's say if he got picked by the Wizards and he
Oh
uses like
God.
you're going to chew out, the Wizards coach is like, hey man, you didn't play my guy for 20 minutes. Like, dude, you're in Phoenix. How you know this? I mean, this is the stuff he needs to chill out about.
Kiki.
First of all, once you're daddy, you're daddy. So stop. You're always daddy. Just let you know. Second of all, um, both are right and both are wrong. Stephen A. Has been the most. He used to be tongue in cheek. He used to be. He used to allude to things, or he kind of like do little sneak disses or digs. Now you're just all out disrespectful. I think when you climb out of your professional role, so do I. At the same token in time, the NBA is a business. It's a job. Here's where LeBron is wrong at. Um, you bring in street stuff into a professional setting. But I understand because it's your fucking son. And then all like if I'm gonna do some emotional, my opinion type stuff, they took a lot. Like they shit on Bronny from the first time he was in there, he wasn't doing shit, and then he showed up and started looking like his daddy and started doing what they do. They was riding dick again, and then the same thing happens again. So for real, I think LeBron earned his right to. You say force. You say force. He earned his right and his place to be able to position his son like all y'all would. Position your son to be in the league to be able to succeed. Y'all all would do that. I feel like the outcome is what people are on. You own the outcome. Stephen A. Smith, who has a bigger platform, he can da da da. Stephen A. Smith know what the fuck he be doing. He
Oh
know
yeah.
what the fuck he be doing, and it's just everybody not gonna take that because now the media and the time I'm talking about that ended back when Marshawn Lynch, when he got busy, like he did what he had to do, but then it came to a point in time like, man, fuck y'all, fuck this.
Hmm.
That's what LeBron is.
Yeah.
So I think to me, when you touch on a person's son, especially when it's true,
Yeah.
you gotta be ready.
But okay,
Be ready.
LeBron know his son ain't shit in the NBA. He know that,
yeah.
but he don't want to hear that.
But again, there's going to be a lot of players.
That's your
I
child.
mean, that are going to have their kids playing the league and all that stuff. Mind you, I understand you're going to fight for your son. You're going to fight for him. To be respected and all that stuff. But at the same time, it's like they have to be their own man. And I
At
think
some
it
point, I agree
yeah,
with
at
that
some
too.
point. But it's like, but here, this is how I viewed it. I mean,
But
when
Brian, I don't mean to cut you. I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
say this real quick, and I know Kiki, because
You see my
just
face,
remember,
right?
we're
Yes,
both parents. We both parents. So
right. I
when
understand.
our children are under attack, that we take it personal. You know what I'm saying?
Understandable.
Now I'm not the type that every time my kid do something wrong, I'm gonna take off. No, I'm gonna
No.
tell them when they wrong, but I'm gonna tell them when they wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's
And
like,
then think about this, Trump.
mhm,
You're the platform that Stephen A. is on. I'm damned if I say something, I'm damned if I don't. If I don't protect my son, how the fuck do I look? What is
right.
that? Just understand, he only 12. So he's still building him. He's still rearing him. He's still trying to raise this guy. He's still trying to give him those emotions are what they are.
Okay.
You have to protect your son. I'm not saying that he was right to do it on that stage because I think
Right.
approaching him, that was nasty work. If you say he approached him on the court, that was nasty work.
Mhm.
However, you get this motherfucking work where you get this motherfucking work at.
But
And
okay.
I'm gonna say this too, though.
All right.
On LeBron's side, I'm sorry, bro. I just gotta
No,
get
go
this because I
go
know
go.
me, and I'm gonna forget. And after this, you got the floor. I'm gonna say this though. LeBron kind of fucked up his son and put undue pressure on his son because LeBron is great. So now people are looking at you at LeBron's son. You were drafted first round, knowing you don't have first round talent. So a lot of people see that as,
You
yeah, you
don't.
taking care of your child, but what's the word when you give your children? I forgot the word. You just give your
Enable.
children something.
You made a
Nepotism.
definition. Yeah, 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 yeah,
They see
yeah.
it as nepotism, and he was
Okay.
handed something. So you kind of put your son in an unfair position. But as a parent, we don't want you talking shit about our son. Only we can
No,
talk shit about our kids.
no,
You
you
can't.
can't. Nope,
You know.
nope.
But go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Okay.
Especially publicly, not
Right.
a Stephen A.
Right.
But okay. I again, I respect you. You both of you. You raised lovely daughters. And they're doing fine.
Thank you.
But here's the thing: at what point in time, because Trump, I know your daughter is in the airline industry. If the captain is chewing her out
Smack the shit out
while
of
you're
her.
on a flight, are you going to confront the captain? When it's just a job related argument, are you going to confront the captain?
It
Job
depends on
related
how.
argument doesn't. You said chewing some fuck yeah. You chewing
No,
my
no, no,
fuck
no,
yeah.
no. Like it's this is what I'm talking about because the thing is when it comes to Stephen A was talking about Bronny James because which is a job related function. It's like I'm talking about Bronny James's basketball play. He said what he said, and that was it. Nothing else. He didn't talk about you know his mannerisms, how he is an adult or whatever. It's just his basketball play. The
May I
thing
ask
is,
you?
and to me,
Something?
say again, yes.
May I interject something before you move forward? Was his criticism personal or was the observation? Like is he because
Yeah.
as a journalist you gotta stay with the observation. You don't go with what you think.
Okay.
Your personal
Again,
opinion.
keep in mind
Okay.
if mind you, this is like I said, Trump put the information out
You
there
got
for
two
me for the
parents over there.
first time hearing
I'm
it.
attacking you, boy. But go ahead.
Yes. But the thing is, like, yeah, I understand there's a difference where criticism becomes personal and professional. I think this was a professional criticism that sounded personal. If you know understand the difference, because because the relationship that Stephen A. Smith probably has with LeBron James it feels like for LeBron to hear this, it seems like it's like, dude, it kind of hit him where it's like, what, you're affecting my kid, you feel like I'm not a good parent, you feel like yeah, blah blah blah. That's why he gave him that reaction. I would probably assume, because again, it gets to the point where it's like, again, I believe LeBron, so we're like, you threw the personal into this instead of the remembering it's the professional. It is a professional criticism that you made personal. And I think that a lot of someone like him, you brought in your son to this because you drafted him, or for you again, the Lakers drafted him for no reason. Like Trump said, he's not a first round pick guy. He was pretty not even a second rounder.
Mhm.
So, but you brought him in. You forced the hand for the Lakers to bring him in here. You made the league, give it this fanfare to say, oh, we have the father and son of LeBron
It
James
was
and then
cute.
Bronny James. It's all cute for one game, and next thing you know, he's on the bench or he's back in the G League for God knows how long, and then he comes back and forth and all that stuff, knowing the full well. It's like, dude, your gameplay is not NBA ready. Period.
I
So
agree with you.
I mean, and at some point, it's like I understand the fact is like you want to protect your kid and from anything and everything, but keep in mind you're in a man's league now. You're a man. Let him be do a man thing. LeBron has been doing some diva shit for years, and and it gets to the point where it's like again now I'm sounding a bit more personal because I never liked the dude and his gameplay, and then now you add in the fact you bring in your son into this. Come on.
You said something that was very poignant, right? You said that it was a professional opinion that sounded personal, which means it's open to interpretation.
Right.
And as a journalist, if you're going to give your opine, you're going to do your personal thing. I mean, professional thing. It should remain that. How I take it, if it can be taken two ways, I'm right.
Are
I'm
you?
right. Yes. If I'm in a role with a mic, with a platform, and my job is to analyze the sports.
Mhm.
If I don't, if my professionalism and my development allows me to say things where it can be taken one way, as a professional, it shouldn't be allowed to be misinterpreted as personal. If I take it personal, you can't tell me I'm wrong. You didn't do your job to make sure that it stayed in that one professional lane. So I
No.
was trying to ask you if, because you even said about my daughter, if she was being chewed out and professionally corrected, that's two different things, bruh. You can't, no.
I,
And if
I
you can be
agree.
taken that way, you going to catch these motherfucking hands.
I agree.
Okay,
I
but
agree.
again,
And then you said
uh,
if I now you talking about time and the place too. Now, like
Yes,
Kiki said, if she's being chewed out, oh, I ain't having that. But if I'm seeing the situation and maybe she made a couple mistakes or whatever,
yes.
and you're getting on her professionally, okay, then you're dealing with it. I ain't got nothing to do with that. The
mhm.
second reason, I'm not gonna go and get at the pilot. Why are we on the motherfucking plane?
No.
Because I ain't trying to crash. Number one, that's number two. So I take care of his ass when we land. Okay. But if it's getting too far, I don't care. We on the plane. That's my door. And I'm like, yo, what's your problem, bro?
What's this?
Why are you chewing her out? You the captain. You should be up there flying this motherfucking plane. Why are you back here chewing her out?
What
Number
even is
one,
this?
right? What kind of plane is this on autopilot? What the fuck we doing here? You know.
Well, technically
So,
they all are.
but like I said, it depends. Like my
Yeah.
daughter's a grown woman, and she gonna have to deal with some things on her own. I get it.
Mhm.
But if I'm in the vicinity and I'm her
Mhm,
parent and I see she's being
mhm,
disrespected for something that can be
mhm.
something handled professionally, we got a problem at that point.
But
That's a parental thing, man.
I get it. I understand that the parental instinct kicks in. I understand that aspect, but at some point in time, you have to realize, and I think surprisingly, LeBron James has not realized this yet. Now that the fact is like, look, at what point in time are you going to let go of the fact that your son needs to handle these situations on his own? And again, if it was Stephen A. Smith and Bronny James had a one-on-one interview, and the interview went left somewhere and all that stuff, is LeBron going to come out of nowhere and grab Stephen A. and drag, say, how you say that question to my son and all that stuff? And it's again, the, that right there is just like, look, it's the
You
point
know what?
where we're here is like LeBron James lost got personal on a professional aspect. And I
I
think
agree with you, and I agree with you, and I disagree. I just
right.
the chewing out shit that got me. I was like, we
Yeah.
ain't doing no chewing
Yeah,
out. You can
yeah.
criticize all you want
Mhm.
fairly, and LeBron kind of put his son in that position. Okay, you know your son ain't as good as you, and that probably never will be, and you
Right.
going to get him drafted number one. Now you know what's coming his way, but whatever. The perfect way to handle the situation in terms of sports, you just look at the Mannings,
Yeah.
the way their father handled the situation, the way he kind of set them up, and he was like, "I'm hands off." You know what I'm saying? He
Mhm.
did that. So I mean,
Well, except for Eli though.
it's a
He
pull, it's some tug and
yeah,
pull,
they're tug and pull.
So
There's one thing having influence. There's nothing wrong with having influence. But in this day and age, I felt like LeBron's influence is not helpful for the league. It's or better even for
no,
the Lakers in this scenario. I just
well,
I that again, you can view it as a personal thing because I'm not a LeBron fan, but as visually and professionally, I'm seeing that everything. I feel like his influence is not going to fully benefit Bronny in the long term.
okay,
That's very absolute. That's
yeah,
very
I
absolute.
agree with that.
Very. That's very absolute.
I agree.
Because
I
you,
agree.
that's
And
harsh.
keep in point, we had Michael Jordan's son didn't do well in the NBA. I already mentioned about
He
Dennis
sniffing
Rodman's
coke. That's
kid.
why.
Huh? Yeah,
Mhm.
that too. A lot of when it comes to notable NBA players and their sons coming in, most of them is it's sort of like you wouldn't know until they a commentator says, "Oh, this is so and so's son," and it's like, "Oh, okay, cool." But when you got big names like again Michael Jordan and now LeBron James, and it's like you have this all this microscope visualization on what this guy is going to do, and knowing full well it's like we could everyone is already seeing this like he was only good up to a point.
Well,
He's not NBA fully NBA cowboy, mind you. There's a lot of unfortunateness because they everyone keeps envisioning that he has LeBron James skill level, but really
well,
he doesn't.
I got a couple. I got one thing to say, LeBron, in this segment. The way you put your son in that position,
You blew it.
that's just what it was. You know what I'm saying?
You blew it.
Yep.
But it is what it
Y'all
is.
need to knock it the fuck off. Everybody on here, knock it the fuck off. That what why wouldn't everything that's going on I would do. If I positioned me, if Patrick Mahomes' son or fucking Jaden Daniels had a son and whoever else, knock it off. I think that he's doing what we all would do. However, the result is being seen, so we have all this commentary.
Well,
Because there
she
are
said
people, I'm sorry.
no. I was just reading a comment. Bryce, she said, Bryce is going to be the one. Actually, he has another son coming up too.
He does.
Bryce,
He
yeah.
does. So I feel like it's right and wrong, but none of us for real. We can't knock it. We only knocking it because the end result is what it is. Had Bronny came in here and was bucket, just I'm talking about surpassing Daddy, you wouldn't have this conversation. It'd have been all would have been right. And Trump, if you made it to the point where you could have a say so and your son's draft pick, why wouldn't you
But
wouldn't?
I would, but then I have
With
to
the
look at it.
hopes.
I have to be real with it too. If I have to be real with my child, and like you're
Mm-hmm.
not that good, so if I prop you up and put you in a position that you are that good, not really though, eventually you're gonna take a lot of fucking heat for being drafted in that position, and you're not that good. Now for the rest of your career, you're gonna be looked at as you're gonna be as good as me, and you're not. And now that's undue pressure.
But whose fault is that we're expecting him to be as good as his dad?
His dad.
LeBron didn't say that, we did, because you know what? Because LeBron is great.
LeBron is
And
great,
what
but
else would he be?
is his son worth a first round pick? Come on.
No. I agree with you on that. I agree with
So
you.
to me, I understand where
You
LeBron's
think he
coming
worth a
from.
second round?
I don't think he's worth a second round.
What
He's
do you
undrafted.
mean? Who
He's an
you
G
think?
League.
undraftable player.
G League.
Yeah.
What?
G League.
Yes.
Yeah.
He undraftable?
G.
I
I
would
think
not
he would have
draft
went
him.
to the G.
Yeah,
I think
he's
he should. He now I don't know. His son Bryce might be the one, but Bronny to me felt forced down our throat. And just looking at his
Damn.
talent, I think if he'd have stayed
Yeah.
at least 3 years in college,
Yeah.
it'd be a different story.
here's the thing you got to think about the timeline. A lot of people forget about the timeline of where we get to the point of having Bronny James where he is now. One, you get to the point where it's like we know that he's playing in college basketball, he's playing in USC, and then you find out about his heart conditions because he remember
Mm-hmm.
he had that heart issue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Comes back, okay, great. He has a decent return, and the next thing you know, he's eligible for the draft. And I was like, dude, you barely in college for like less than 2 years.
First round.
So, and then now you again, next thing you know, you have your dad manipulating the Lakers to say, hey, draft my son or I'm out. And they end up doing it. And again, and
Yeah.
the rest is history right now.
But
So
even though my son is sorry, you still not going to like destroy him. You know what I'm saying? That's the different part. See,
I get that.
you know what I'm saying?
But
You can
again,
say he's not good or he needs that, but you're not gonna sit up here and just say he's straight trash. I know that. I don't need you telling the public. I know my son trash in the game.
but again, mind you, this is early. This is his first year. I
Yeah.
get that. But then again, if you think about it, let's say this: there have been a lot of other players in various sports that had these big aspirational projections of being whatever, and every media person has trashed them after their first 3 years, and they've never been seen since. The
Well,
one example I've always point out in this current NBA setting, Zion Williams. Dude is like supposed to be this next big
that's
thing, and the guy can barely stay on the court.
well, that's his fault.
Right.
That's his fault. That's not.
So
He
where
didn't
his
have his.
daddy? Why
He,
ain't he protecting
he's
him?
He didn't have
he's
his
doing
daddy crumb.
extracurricular stuff.
Yeah,
He's
he
doing
just
other things.
yeah he just ate himself out the league. He's too busy. He's too busy.
His focus is
Making
elsewhere.
babies. Yeah, planting
His focus
seeds.
is elsewhere.
Yeah, he's
So,
planting seeds. You know.
And he likes social media a lot. And,
Yeah.
and
I
video.
that's what I'm
understand that.
saying.
He got some upcoming child support payments to make
Yeah,
very
so
soon
Sure.
too.
that's what I'm saying. It's like if these guys where their dads are in the background, or probably not in the picture at all, and but in case of point here, I felt it's like okay, they can handle the media pressure. I don't think Bronny James was ever prepared for the media pressure.
Oh, that's a
I
fact. That's his daddy fault.
yeah.
That's his daddy
So
Okay.
fault.
I
But
Let me ask you this though. So right now we can see grandiose things happening for Shador, right?
uh-oh.
For sure. We see grandiose things happening.
Mm,
Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it happen? Why wouldn't it?
mm,
And then here he is, first round draft pick. Him and his daddy come package deal. And they look like they tank
mm.
before everyone's eyes. Do we take away the fact that they were great when they were great? Or do we just leave it at give them time? Because I think y'all know how
I,
I know why
I'll
you
answer
know
this.
why
I'll
you
answer
shit
like
on
this.
LeBron.
Here's the thing. I'll answer like this. Like you mentioned earlier about Archie Manning and his boys.
Yes,
So when Peyton Manning got drafted, Archie was not in the picture.
for
But
sure.
when Eli came along, keep in mind the Chargers were going to draft him, and Archie stepped in and said, "Please do not draft my kid." For whatever reason, the Chargers really wanted him, so they was like, "Okay, fine," and they gave him respect. So that's why they traded out with the Giants, and they end up getting Rivers. This will be the same thing here because the Giants now have the top pick to get him. And knowing full well how the Giants are, and that place is a mess right now.
Hmm.
If Dion goes in and try to quote unquote influence of the Giants not to draft him, then again I feel like there is a problem there because it's like he needs to be on his own. He's now a man now. He's graduated from college. He's been with you your coaching your journey from
You're
from
on
down to the
you're his
HBCUs to
own coach.
Colorado, and I get it. So now he should be on his own. But I feel like Dion, quote unquote, influence, I think should end once he graduated.
Well, what does that look like to you? As though I'm coming to you as a package deal. He's a draft pick. I am the coach. How do I not?
You're a coach for Colorado University. You're not a coach. You're not you're not to me. You're not prime. Coach Prime coming into New York. You're not coaching the Giants if the Giants are drafting him.
I'm coaching the person that you want as the first
No,
round
you're
draft pick.
not.
I
You
still
already
am.
coached. You already coached him. You're done. He's graduated. He got you to a couple bowl games. He improved, year after year. I get all that. Now he is free to be picked up by somebody else to be coached by. Now, mind you, you can get some extra tutelage from your dad, which is fine. But when it comes to full on coaching, no,
I
unless
don't
he's
see Dion
unless he's getting
interfering.
coached by.
I don't see Dion interfering with his draft status. I don't see Dion Land don't go here. I haven't heard
I don't see that.
anything.
That's again. I hope it doesn't
Well,
happen.
not
But
yet. We have to wait to draft day. Maybe he
yeah,
will, but I don't see that. I think Dion knows the game.
He's
You know what I'm
accepting
saying?
of it. He
Yeah,
said it.
yeah,
He's accepting of it. He said, "This is my last time." He
yeah.
didn't say that. I'm just busting your
Right.
balls, but he said that during that last his when they were leaving Colorado that last game, he said, "I've done what I had to do.
Exactly.
This is our
Exactly.
last time." And the pictures and all of the da da da. I think that was his time to do that. I don't think that he's going to be that way.
I don't think, and I think what LeBron, if LeBron would have, okay, you pushing your son to get drafted. Okay, cool. Now you're pushing the team to draft him. If LeBron would have just pushed his son to the draft and be like, wherever you go, you go. And let's say somebody like the fucking Wizards had him. You know what I'm saying? And okay, cool. Because we so sorry. Bronny probably would have ended up being the best player on the team anyway. If
Wow.
he went to the Wizards. You know what I'm saying? So he pushed his son to get drafted by one of the most iconic franchises in sports and the same team he's on. That's where a lot of the criticism is coming from. Now, how he's being criticized as a parent, that'll bother me. The criticism doesn't bother me. It's
For sure.
how you're
For sure.
criticizing him.
Because I woke up knowing that.
Yeah,
Woke up knowing that. But then again, we such a social media era that the idea and the narrative of son and father, they ran with that. No
yeah,
one gated that.
that's
No one
true.
said all the things they were saying again because it's playing out in real time. We have all this Monday morning
Yeah,
quarterback things now, but when they was selling it to us, we bought it.
that was woke
It's like
ass.
damn,
Because that was woke ass ESPN doing that shit.
it was doing
Woke
yes.
ass ESPN was doing that shit. Oh, bro, father and son, and LeBron wants to play this before he retires. Yeah, let's do it.
Yes,
You know, then they pressured them. So, but at the end of the day, it's not going to hurt Bron. LeBron is going to hurt Bronny,
Ronnie.
and LeBron's going to have to. I do agree, LeBron. Unless it's a personal diabolical attack on your son, stay out of it.
Yeah,
Stay out of it. Now, you
I
get too
think.
personal, it's on.
But I think that we're talking about it, and arguably we're not the first people to talk about it and have our opinions on it. There is that moment of, damn, I messed that up. There's that
Yeah,
moment.
yeah,
There's that moment of the things that you're saying coming to fruition. Because let's be clear, Ronnie's mom is still in the picture.
yeah,
Family members are still in the picture.
yeah.
There are other people that are influences on him still in the picture that are saying the very same thing that you guys are saying that are probably at the emotional time he didn't see.
Yeah.
He didn't see it. So I know he a Capricorn. First of all, he a Capricorn.
Who,
We take
LeBron?
hard self inventories.
LeBron is a Capricorn?
Yes.
And
January
and
6th.
LeBron is a Capricorn.
oh Lord.
LeBron's an Aries.
No, LeBron is a Capricorn.
What's that? January? What is Capricorn?
January.
Oh,
Yes.
they
Me
hate.
too. Just so you know.
Are you a Capricorn too?
Absolutely.
And you don't
Me,
like LeBron?
Murray, LL,
Oh Lord.
Martin Luther King, Michelle Obama, don't make me get going.
Uh
John
oh.
Legend, don't make me do it.
Oh,
Jamie
I
Love.
like to call a brick house Obama. But that's
Just
another story.
saying.
My mind got to get out. But anyway,
December 3rd is his birthday.
December
But
3rd.
I'm saying to say this. We're very humble people. And the emotional thing, we will mama and papa bear our kids. My kids know. People who know me know I'm on your ass about my kids. But there is a time when you sit and you do self reflection. And I believe
Yeah,
that has been done.
yeah.
It's not publicly.
I'm the same way. I'm when my kid is wrong, I'm not the type that's gonna go to the school and like if my kid does something wrong, I'm gonna take up for them just because they my kid. No,
No, fuck
if my
that.
kid was wrong, I'm gonna get on
Did you?
their ass.
For sure.
But you can get on their ass too to a point. Now I'm not gonna shield my kid for the rest of their life. But I'm not as a parent. I'm not gonna sit there and let you just outright disrespect my kid.
No.
No,
No,
that's
man.
not happening.
No,
But
sir.
let's end this on a happy note.
Happy.
All right, I love happy endings. Y'all to stories. Y'all love happy endings and stories.
Love them.
Okay.
Adore
Wait, stories. I was thinking it's like, wait, what is he
Well,
talking about?
this kind of falls in the. I want to give a congratulations. Every story has to have a happy ending. To DeShaun Watson, um, he is recently engaged to getting married as
you.
of this weekend. I
She
want
look
to
happy.
congrats him and his new wife or fiance into their upcoming wedding and engagement. You know, just Deshaun Watson has had a lot of happy endings, and this is probably the happiest ending he's going to have.
Oh, see what you did there.
Did you catch that? Did you catch that? Yes,
Like,
indeed.
oh no, like yes, oh yeah.
So, congratulations. She must be one hell of a masseuse. But anyway, uh, y'all have any y'all want to say anything to Deshaun Watson? You know, he took a pay cut or he rearranged his contract and got engaged, and uh, she looks very excited there.
Congratulations or whatever.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
used the same hand. That hand must do wonders. But
Yes. All silky smooth.
yeah, silky smooth, silky smooth.
Yeah.
But man, I want y'all to give your shout outs again. And speaking of sports shows, I know y'all have No Filter Sports.
Yes, we
Yeah.
do.
Talk about that a little
No
bit.
Filter Sports, my lovely co-host here. We just like you talk about random sports things, but we go beyond talking about football and basketball because I love multiple sports. So we bring in other people to talk about those things. But all along, yeah, we no filter, just straight up shoot the shit about what's going on in the world of sports. And you can look at that no underscore filter underscore sports underscore 2.5.
It's too
Yes,
many underscores.
I had to do it here.
I've been
I
trying
don't
for
have a
years to
graphic for
shorten
it.
that shit.
Fire sale on underscores.
Yes.
But that and how often? Where can they catch it?
We randomly try to do at least maybe once a month. But it's on Beltway Radio and Beyond.com. And also on its YouTube channel, Beltway Radio, and we post some clips on the Instagram site so you can get a little taste of what we're talking about.
Okay, and Miss Kiki, where can they follow you, the show, you personally, all of that?
I too am on Beltway Radio and Beyond on all social platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch. You can catch us there on Mondays from 8 to 10 p.m. We are currently on hiatus, so look for us going into the next month. On Monday evenings is me and my co-host Tone and our special guest, who's our station manager.
Mhm.
He's dope. Just catch us. We talk about everything. It's nothing's off the table. Nothing.
They have a special name for him every week.
Every week. Every week.
Every week.
Well, y'all stay
For,
here.
for 4 years.
Before you, y'all stay here real quick. But for everybody else, thank y'all for tuning in tonight live. Everybody in the comments, everybody on Instagram, and we will catch you
Thanks,
on the next
Ebony.
episode of Gen